The Appleton-Parkersburg Community Schools would like to welcome you to tonight's game between your AP Falcons and the Belmond-Klemme Broncos. We would like to thank Kevin and Amy Truax from Truax Insurance and Iowa Sports Supply for sponsoring our postseason so that we can bring tonight's game to you live. We would also like to thank Campbell Mellema Insurance for sponsoring all of our live streams from the regular season and our fine arts streams. Appleton-Parkersburg Schools promotes good sportsmanship in all athletic events. Please respect the players, coaches, and other fans and officials at tonight's ball game.
Good evening and welcome to Appleton-Parkersburg High School. The Appleton-Parkersburg Community Schools promotes good sportsmanship in all athletic events. Please respect the players, coaches, other fans, and officials at tonight's ball game. The officials for tonight are Colin Friesman, Greg Henn, and Dave Wagsness. And now the lineup for your Belmond-Klemme Broncos. A senior, number 13, Madison Boris. A junior, number 21, Molly Hartwig. A senior, number 31, Addison McMurray. A junior, number 33, Ashlyn Wilms. A junior, number 43, Jenna Meyer. The Broncos are coached by Andrew O'Connor, Wendy Meitz, and Jackie Meyer. And now for your Appleton-Parkersburg Falcons. A senior, number 10, Summer Stotler. A sophomore, number 12, Ellen Waller. A senior, number 20, Emily Price. A junior, number 24, Ellie Eachin. A junior, number 30, Caitlin Cavalier. The Falcons are coached by Brady Driscoll, Sean Cruzy, Sydney Herron, and Jenna Bruns. Now please stand for the national anthem, sung tonight by Shayla Barrett and Lauren Carney.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that a flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Fantastic, girls. Nice job.
Thank you.
One being Shayla Barrett, a sophomore on this AP basketball team. Fantastic job there with the anthem. So glad you could join us here on this Tuesday night. Postseason basketball in this Class 2A district. Ben Helwig here with you. Ben DeMuth back in studio. Starting lineups first for Belmond-Klemme. It's Maddie Barris, a senior, Molly Hartwig, a junior, Addison McMurray, a senior, Ashlyn Wilms, a junior, and Jenna Meyer, a junior. Head coach of the Broncos is Andrew O'Connor. For Appleton-Parkersburg, it's Summer Stotler, a senior, Ellen Waller, a sophomore, Emily Price, a senior, Ellie Eachin, a junior, and Caitlin Cavalier, a junior. Head coach of the Falcons is Brady Driscoll. Off the tip, we are underway, and a jump ball almost immediately. They didn't even start the clock, and they're just going to say re-jump it. They're going to redo the jump ball. I haven't seen that, I don't believe, ever. They're going to redo the jump ball here as they got tangled up as soon as they tipped it off, and now the tip is won by Applington-Parkersburg, moving from right to left, and we are underway. Immediately an open three, and a travel is called as Cavalier was open for a triple but couldn't keep the feet set. And here comes the first possession of the game for Belmond-Klemme. Looks like they didn't get the clock started off the initial jump ball, so there's going to be 1 second off the clock, but that is at the moment incorrect. We'll see how much time they take off the clock. Belmond-Klemme in their road greens with the blue letters and numbers trimmed in white, blue speckled stripes down the side of the shorts. Applington-Parkersburg in their home whites, red numbers, black letters, red stripes down the side. BK ball, moving from left to right. Some full court pressure here from the Falcons. Barris in some trouble, is able to get it off up the floor to Meyer, who now dribbles into a double team and nearly turns it over, had it tipped right back to her. Now it's controlled by McMurray at straightaway. And now a pass is tipped and into the backcourt, and here it's controlled by the Falcons, but stepping out of bounds is Stotler, and nearly a turnover for the Broncos will keep it on their end. McMurray to inbound, gets it to Wilms, who will bring the ball up the floor. It's an extended 2-3 zone defense that the Broncos pass along pretty well. Taking a long jumper is Hartwig that falls off to the wayside, and the Falcons come the other way. Cavalier on the right side, sets for three, now passes inside, going up and finishing. And it's our first sighting of Ellie Eachin, who finishes strong on the block to give the Falcons the first lead of the ball game. Broncos continue to pass along that press. As here's a long pass up the floor, intercepted by Eachin. Eachin up to the near side of the floor where it's controlled by Price, and a double team is able to give off to Eachin. And now swing it over to the right side, Cavalier. Cavalier looks inside, wanted to go to Eachin again, wasn't there. Good seal on the interior by the Broncos. Now a skip pass to the near side wing. Waller drives baseline, and they're going to call a foul. As Barris got beat a little bit off the ball. The first foul on either side goes against Maddie Barris. Broncos as a team average about 12 fouls a game. They have to keep themselves pretty clean here on the sheet tonight if they're going to want to hang in this one. As here's a good drive inside, but an off-kilter shot by Waller. Rebound is corralled, and now a foul is called. As looked like Hartwig squeezed the rebound. And they're going to call Eachin for a reach foul after the rebound was brought down. So each team with a foul here, just a minute and a half into the ball game. Wilms up the floor, bounces it up, where it's caught by Hartwig on the move, dribbles into the near side corner. Now bounces into Barris. Barris back to Hartwig, thought about a three, now goes baseline, gets around her defender, hits the deck, but gets it away to Barris. Barris drives, now kick to the left side. McMurray, she'll spot up a three, missed it short, and a rebound is controlled by Waller and the Falcons. Waller brings it up herself the other way. Skip pass to the opposite side, Cavalier. Broncos playing 2-3 zone as a skip to the opposite way. Waller once again drives baseline, kick to the corner. Long two on its way is off the mark for Stotler, but an offensive rebound for Waller, puts it up, spinning away, and gets it to drop. 4-0 lead for the Falcons, 5:50 to go first quarter. Broncos continue to play pitch and catch along the length of the floor as Hartwig gets inside, and it's ripped away by Waller, who comes the opposite way. Now tip at half court by McMurray. Waller comes back up with it. Now, Stotler, steal, here comes Wilms the other way. McMurray stops at the three-point line. Handoff to Barris, came from behind, lost control of the ball, and Waller goes the opposite direction. She'll take it herself with the layup, and they're going to get a timeout here from Coach O'Connor. 5:22 to go first quarter, 6-0. Applington-Parkersburg, the defensive pressure already producing some results. As Belmond-Klemme has done a decent job getting past half court, but they have not been able to get much of anything going right now in terms of offensive production. That being said, taking care of the ball in the backcourt, just have to get some better looks in the front court. As for Applington-Parkersburg, passing the ball well, they're driving and kicking. They've created some good looks and have gotten some opportunities at second chance points. So pretty ideal start for Coach Driscoll and the Falcons. It's Belmond-Klemme gonna have to pick things up offensively. Barris receives the inbounds pass and now skips it over to Meyer on the far side. Meyer will dribble it up herself with the left hand, bounces up to Wilms in the far side corner. It goes back to McMurray, nearly had it poked away but comes up with it. Now Barris, and she took a false step and she traveled. A little bit out of sorts here to start for Belmond-Klemme. As now here comes some pressure from the Broncos. A 1-2-2 3/4 court press. Here's a long pass up the floor that's caught by Price. Takes a couple dribbles and had it blocked inside. Looked like Wilms got a hand on it. And Belmond-Klemme with a defensive stand comes the other way. McMurray, hand off to the right side. Hartwig, who skips on over to the left. Wilms, she sets for three. Connects. That's Ashlyn Wilms knocking down the first shot of the game for Broncos. Wilms, just a 23% three-point shooter. Gets him on the board. There's a drive inside by Price. Had it tipped, but gets its way to Cavalier. Goes up through the lane and missed a layup a little bit strong. Hartwig the rebound. She'll bring it up herself. 4:30 to go, 6-3 Falcons. McMurray now controls on the logo. Swing to the left side, now back to McMurray. 2-3 zone still for the Falcons. Giving some pressure to the ball handlers of Belmond-Klemme. Hartwig looks inside, now to Wilms, swing over to the left. McMurray drives with the left hand, goes up, a runner off the window and through. And Addison McMurray, the leading scorer for the Broncos over the course of the season, gets her first basket of the night. McMurray averaging 12.1 points per game. 6-5, now good passing up the floor by the Falcons to the block, goes up, a foul is called and count the basket. That's Ellie Eachin on the block off of a great feed by Price. And a chance for one more for AP, who already leads 8-5. Foul went against Wilms, her first, second team on the Broncos. We have her first substitution into the game as well, as Hovinga is coming in for Emily Price. Lily Hovinga, a junior, averages just under 5 points a game. And one opportunity for Eachin is out, but an offensive board by Cavalier will give the Falcons yet another opportunity. Out to Stotler, now skip to the right. Waller goes back to Stotler on the left wing, dribbles back to the middle, kick out, straightaway three on its way for Waller is strong, but another offensive board. Cavalier with it now. Guarded by McMurray, dribbles away from her to the right side. Hovinga lobs back inside for a cutting Cavalier, but at a tip by Meyer. McMurray controls the other way. McMurray behind the back dribble will slow things down and gives it to Hartwig. Hartwig swing to the left to Wilms. 3:25 to go, first quarter, 8-5 lead for the Falcons. Hartwig surveys into McMurray on the block. Now a good pass to Meyer, who cut down from the high post, missed the layup off the back iron. Otherwise a good give and go action. The Falcons go the other way. Into the corner, Hovinga, shot fake, drives baseline, up to Eachin on the block. Had it tipped, ball's still loose, Wilms the rebound. It looked like Jenna Meyer got a hand on that shot block. McMurray the other way, into the traffic. She'll take a floater, spins out. Loose ball and the rebound is controlled by the Falcons. Up the floor they go. Hovinga to the block. Challenged, falling away from the hoop. Can't get a friendly roll. And they're going to call a foul on the rebound going against the Falcons. That one goes against Eachin, and a big foul call there. That's Ellie Eachin's second foul here in the first quarter. Puts her head down as she has to head to the bench. Price comes back in. And that's a developing story here. Second foul going against Ellie Eachin, the leading scorer and rebounder for the Falcons. Substitutions for the Broncos. Let's get a first look at Allison Barris and Maddie Roberts coming into the game for the first time. Here's Maddie Barris with it up the floor to Roberts, intended for her at least, as it was taken away by Cavalier, who led the passing lane well. Cavalier will bring it back the other way herself to the right side. Stotler, bounce pass in, and a good post move by Price is going to draw a foul and a trip to the free throw line. 2:32 to go, first quarter, 8-5. Belmond-Klemme trails by 3. That foul goes against Allison Barris. Price, without a bucket here tonight, will sink the first free throw. Price, a senior, stands at 5'7", 66% free throw shooter, averages just over 4 points a game. Both teams go typically about 8 deep as the second free throw is off the mark. Wilms the rebound and lobs it up the floor to McMurray. McMurray always on full go, gets it back to Wilms. Thought about a three, back to McMurray. A little bit of an errant pass, tracked down in the corner by McMurray. Now whips it into the block. Here's Barris up, challenge shot. is short, and here comes the Falcons the other way. It's Stotler running the go. Over to Cavalier. Cavalier sizes up a three and knocks it down. Caitlin Cavalier, her first basket of the night, and it's a 7-point lead for the Falcons. Broncos continuing to pass the ball quickly. No dribbles as they break this press. McMurray, a laser up the floor to Wilms, and now goes to the block intended for Allison Barris, but just missed her long. And a turnover will give it back to the Falcons. You may have even heard Coach O'Connor from the bench there yelling to his team, slow down. Got it across half court, wait for a good shot. Right idea, just a little bit too quickly. The Broncos moving right now. Hovenga with it. She'll take a three. And she got it. Lily Hovenga from straight away. That seems to be the perfect spot right now for the Falcons. They've connected on their last two triples. That's a 10-point lead, 1:30 to go. McMurray across half to Maddie Barris. Now into the baseline, driving inside, and a whistle. And a travel is called. That one goes against Allison Barris. And looks like Coach O'Connor wants to go to a man defense. Plus a couple of subs coming into the ball game. Late, but they're coming in. It's Meyer as well as Hartwig coming in. Roberts, and looks like they're going to get Allison Barris off the floor as well. Coach O'Connor, though, already switching up the defense. He's done that over the course of the entire season, going to the man defense here to try and get the Falcons a little off kilter. There's a drive by Stotler, peels back out, now into the corner with Price. Price has an avenue baseline, but got cut off by Meyer. And off to Hovenga, goes inside, kick out for a three. It's Waller from the wing and rattles it in. Ellen Waller with 7 points in this first quarter, 13-point lead for the Falcons. Broncos coming up the floor. Barris into the corner. Driving baseline was Hartwig, lost it for a second, had it ripped away, and ultimately Price is going to force the jump ball.
Jump ball to Belmond-Klemme.
And it'll stay with the Broncos. 47 seconds to go in the quarter. Broncos need a bucket. McMurray to inbound. Gets it out to the safety valve, Wilms at half court. Wilms inside to a cutting Barris. Right idea, but a little late as it was tipped out of bounds by Emily Price. It'll stay with the Broncos. Only 2 baskets for Belmond-Klemme in the early goings. McMurray with 2, Wilms with 3. Here's Wilms again, and she took an extra step. That's the 3rd travel in the first quarter called by these officials against Belmond-Klemme. Just maybe a little bit of happy feet right now. Long bus trip. Excited in this ball game on the road. They trail by 13. May have heard Coach Driscoll say it there. He wants one shot here, and now not looking for the ball was Stotler. As Waller tried to pass it to her on the left wing. Stotler was talking with one of her teammates in the post, and the turnover will give Belmond-Klemme a chance here with under 30 seconds to go. McMurray, crossover gets around Hovenga, now to Wilms, swing to the left, Barris. Barris surveys, holds it above her head, skips it back to Wilms, long pass, loose ball, and Stotler has it. Streaking down the other way, stops on the block, Meyer with a contest, got a hand on it, and Meyer plucks away the rebound. Good transition D there by Meyer to alter the shot. Under 6 seconds, now another turnover, it's Hovenga, half court heave, and too strong off the backboard, but a putback at the buzzer, rattles out for Waller. Hovenga maybe lost track of how much time was on the clock there, had a little bit more time, and nearly a putback for Waller as time expires. Regardless, a good first quarter for Applington-Parkersburg. They lead 18-5 after 1. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to high school basketball coverage on 104.9 KLMJ.
The Applington-Parkersburg Community Schools would like to welcome you to tonight's game between your AP Falcons and the Belmond-Klemme Broncos. We would like to thank Kevin and Amy Truax from Truax Insurance and Iowa Sports Supply for sponsoring our postseason so that we can bring tonight's game to you live. We would also like to thank Campbell Mellema Insurance for sponsoring all of our live streams from the regular season and our fine arts streams. Applington-Parkersburg Schools promotes good
Dr. Durbin of Union Point Clinic, Dr. Adam Hogestraat and Dr. Jason Eller with Parkersburg Chiropractic, and Sam DeVore and Julie Eddy of Parkersburg Taylor Physical Therapy, Dr. Andrew Ashel and Dr. Chad Buss, as well as Rachel Cassins from Taylor Physical Therapy. Thanks for your support. We also want to thank you to Iowa Sports Supply and Truax Insurance for sponsoring tonight's game.
18-5, Appleton-Parkersburg leads it after one period here in this postseason matchup. Belmond-Klemme, Appleton-Parkersburg. Ben Helwig back here with you. Ben DeMuth is in studio as here's a drive off the inbound by Price. That is off to the side. Gets her on board, though, in the far side corner. Gets it to her teammate, and a drive and a foul will put AP at the line. And Cian Luring getting to the basket, her first action of the night coming out of that quarter break. She'll have a chance at 2 free throws. Want to continually remind you that immediately following our broadcast here tonight, we will have the Meet the Wrestlers show as the first free throw good for Luring. We'll hear from all of the individuals from our listening area on both KLMJ and KQCR who made it to the state wrestling tournament coming up on Thursday. That'll be tonight, immediately following our basketball coverage here on KLMJ. 2-for-2 trip there for Cian Luring, and a substitution for Belmond-Klemme as Maddie Barris checks into the game for Ashlyn Wilms. Tough shooting first quarter for Belmond-Klemme. Gotten their own way a couple times with turnovers as well, but just 2 field goals has really contributed to this 15-point deficit. McMurray getting pressured at half court. Gives off to the left side where it's held by Allison Barris. Swing to the right, now into the corner. Here's a long jumper from Maddie Barris. Short off the front of the rim. Loose ball, and it's recovered by Jenna Meyer. Putback is up, had it blocked, and now Price a rebound. Gives AP a fast break the other way. A 5-on-4 as Hartwig hit the deck. All the way to the free throw line. Price lobbed into the block, and a foul is called. That was Jada Oldenburger, who just came in during those free throws. And 2 trips down the floor for the AP offense in this second quarter and 2 trips to the free throw line. Goes against McMurray, her first. 15 foul on the Broncos as that one lips out. It's been something that's plagued Belmond-Klemme over the course of this season. Their offense just averaging a little over 40 points per game. Their defense has really helped them when they've won games. This is an 0-for-2 trip there for Oldenburger, spins out both. But these long lulls on the offensive end for Belmond-Klemme has been the Achilles heels. Here's a turnover by McMurray. Streaking down the other way, Luring. Bounce pass up and a block from behind. Chase down, that was Allison Barris. Didn't look like Waller, who attempted the layup, ever saw her. A nice chase down there by Barris. It'll still be AP ball with just under 7 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Waller gets the inbound and a screen from Hovenga out behind to Price. One dribble to the right and lobs over that direction where it's held by Waller. Back to Hovenga. She'll take a 3. That took a big roll around the outside and through. And that's the second 3 of the game for Hovenga. It's 23-5. BK up the floor. McMurray. Long pass up to Barris, and she got bumped as she crossed half. Hovenga the guilty party. It'll be her first foul. Keep in mind, this is important too. Falcons have been without their leading scorer and rebounder Ellie Eachin for the second half of that first quarter and the beginning stages of this quarter, playing with those 2 fouls as the inbound is tipped, stays with BK. The Falcons to still be getting this offense production consistently in this first half without Eachin is huge. So here's Hartwig, takes a dribble inside, now lobs for Meyer, tipped by Oldenburger. Ball's still loose. Coming up with it is McMurray. She missed the layup short, and a rebound is controlled by the Falcons. Up the floor they go, and then a tip ball recovered by Price, and looked like she stepped out of bounds on the far side of the floor. Good effort there by Maddie Barris. Got a hand on it to maybe force Price to step out of bounds. Falcons try to go quickly, didn't pay off there. Belmond-Klemme needs a basket in the worst way. 6:10 to go, 23-5. McMurray trying to dribble around Hovenga, gets across half, behind the back dribble, creates some separation now to Wilms, back to McMurray who stands on the logo. Drives to the right, handoff to Hartwig. Hartwig caught up in the air to Wilms, she'll set for a 3, and she connects there. Wilms has a quick trigger, and she has 2 of the 3 baskets for Belmond-Klemme. Both of her buckets have been from distance. Here's a deep 3 on the other end. Waller pulls up, a little short, and the rebound is controlled by Oldenburger. Gets it back to Waller, skip pass to the left side, and here's a loose ball right in front of us at the scorer's table. And Maddie Barris was the last to touch it. It'll stay with the Falcons. 5:39 to go, first half, 23-8, Falcons lead it. Hovenga controls in the backcourt, now brings it back across the timeline. Dribbles on the Falcon logo at center court, works to the right side, now launches into the corner. Price, she'll launch a 3, and that's well long, but Hovenga tracks down the board, takes a dribble out of the corner, Tries to skip it the other way, but it's tipped and intercepted. Here comes Barris. Maddie Barris up the floor, double coverage, and an offensive foul is called. Turns away from the official with disagreement on her face. A little bit of an obstructed view, but looked like her right forearm created some separation, and that's the second foul on Maddie Barris. Good defense the opposite direction by the Falcons to force the offensive foul on Belmond-Klemme. 5:13 to go. Waller casually across half court. 23-8, Falcons lead it. Cavalier swing along the outside to Waller. Waller dribbles to the free throw line, now goes up with a runner, too strong off the window. Jenna Meyer the rebound. Shovels off to McMurray, up the floor they go. Hartwig on the right wing, launches across to the other side, Wilms. Wilms back to McMurray, goes back to Wilms. Wilms, skip pass. Hartwig takes a couple dribbles inside, into the corner with Barris. She whips it across to Wilms. Wilms shot fake and drive, and another travel is called against the Broncos. Fourth time they've been called on a traveling violation this first half. And the struggles continue for the BK Broncos. 4:40 to go, and at this rate, if you're Coach Driscoll, you may as well keep Eachin out on the floor. She came in during that last dead ball. Playing with that lead can be a little bit more liberal with the fouls, as there's a foul called on Belmond-Klemme. It goes against Wilms, her second, and it'll put Summer Stotler at the free throw line for a 1-and-1. And that's Wilms' third free throw, so that'll be likely the rest of the half for her on the bench. Stotler connects on the first. That's a big foul there against Belmond-Klemme as well. 6 of the 8 points for the Broncos coming from Ashlyn Wilms in this first half, and she's likely going to have to sit for the rest of it with foul trouble. 2-for-2 trip for Stotler there on the bonus throws. 25-8, 4.5 minutes to go in this second quarter. Falcons in full control. McMurray to Meyer. Done a skip pass the opposite way. Tipped and intercepted. It's Mowinkle tracking it down. Now guarded, pressured by Barris. But she gets it away. Now into the corner. It's held by Waller. Dribbles back to the middle, and she's fouled by McMurray. Came in with the body. That'll be the second foul on Addison McMurray as well. The foul is starting to add up here for Belmond-Klemme. Their 8th team foul of this half. And a 1-and-1 for Ellen Waller. Spins the ball in her hand, now puts it up with the right, and knocks it through. Reminder, AGWSR girls basketball will be on the air here in just about 20 minutes. Pre-game coverage. Jeff Ramin standing by in Gladbrook Rhinebeck High School for that postseason contest. That's coming up 6:40 on KQCR. 2-for-2 trip there for Waller. 27-8, 4:10 to go. McMurray to Meyer, who catches on the logo. Now will dribble it across herself. Lobs it back to McMurray. A dangerous pass, but it's controlled by McMurray. McMurray works to the left, wants to hand off, and does so to Allison Barris. To the right side, Hartwig now back to Barris. She takes a long two, a little strong, and the rebound is controlled by Mowinkle. Mowinkle tried to shovel it off to Cavalier, tipped out of bounds by Meyer, and it'll stay with AP, 3:49 to go. BK has thrown a couple of defensive looks throughout this game. They stay in a man defense as it sits right now. They had a little bit of full court pressure, but it didn't pay off in the first quarter. As Cavalier dribbles to the three-point line, stopped in her tracks, swing to the left, lob for Mowinkle, and it's taken away by Hartwig. Read that pass pretty well, up the floor to McMurray. McMurray will pull up in transition, long on the three-point attempt. A rebound is caught in the corner by Meyer, but it looks like she had her heel on the baseline, and a turnover. I'll give it back to AP. Falcons on this season averaging just under 47 points per game. Going to be well on track for that and more here, as here's a shot attempt tipped by Stotler's shot was tipped by Barris. Good defense there on the inside by the Broncos. It'll still be AP basketball, 4-low set. Cavalier to inbound. Wants to go to Mowinkle. Meyer denies. Now a tip ball off the inbound where it's controlled by Allison Barris. Broncos the other way, still just one basket in this third quarter. McMurray in the corner, quick pass inside for Meyer. Try to catch it with one hand, but a little too hot to handle. And back with the Falcons. Substitution here as Amara Kelly, a sophomore with plenty of size, stands nearly 6 foot for the Broncos, comes into the ballgame for the first time. Coach O'Connor is incredibly high on her abilities and going to get to work with her in the offseason. Likely going to be the post of the future. Her and Jenna Meyer certainly will be a tough tandem to guard against next year if Kelly continues to develop, as there's a missed shot by Eachin, and now a foul as McMurray comes the other way. Ellen Waller with the hand check. 4th team foul on the Falcons. 2:44 to go, 27-8. AP in full control on their home court. Winner of this one gets the winner of Dyke New Hartford and Eagle Grove on Friday night. Kelly catches at the free throw line to Hartwig on the right wing, dribbles into the corner, cut off by Price, had it tipped out of bounds, and last touch by the Falcons. 2.5 minutes to go. If you're just joining us, AP creating a lot of turnovers early on, as here's a player hitting the deck hard before the ball's even inbounded. And it looked like maybe 2 players got their feet tangled up. Ellie Eachin and Maddie Barris. Maddie Barris hit the deck hard. Now the inbound comes into Barris, and she makes the shot plus a foul. Kind of an odd sequence there. Eachin bumped into Barris before the inbound came. Looked like their feet just got tangled up. A whistle came, no foul. But regardless, off the inbound, Barris makes the most of the opportunity and will go to the free throw line with a chance for one more. Foul goes against Waller, her second. So Waller playing with 2, as is Eachin. Now Eachin's going to come out of the game late here. I'll put Oldenburger back into the ballgame. Maddie Barris at the free throw line, just a 61% shooter on the season, and sinks the and one. 27-11. Still plenty of time in this ballgame. Belmond-Klemme has not had an ideal first half on offense. Still plenty of time to amend that. Cavalier with it on their Falcon end. Dribbles to center, lobs back behind to Stotler. Falcons can afford to run some clock here if they so choose. Stotler gets a back pedal and then a full head of steam, dribbles into the corner, handoff to Cavaliers. She dribbles to the elbow, tries to lob in for Oldenburger, tipped by Kelly and taken away by Barris. Allison Barris should say. Hartwig now catches a pass up the floor into Kelly, and a foul is called, as Oldenburger going to get called for a bump. 5th team foul on the Falcons, under 2 to go first half, so still time for the Broncos to maybe creep into the bonus themselves. As McMurray lobs it in for Hartwig, back to McMurray. She sets for 3 on the right wing, and she got it. Great set play there off the inbound as Addison McMurray gets her first triple of the game, and a timeout for Coach Driscoll. 1:47 to go. Applington-Parkersburg still with the lead, but BK starting to come alive. It's 27-14. We'll step aside. You're listening to high school basketball on 104.9 KLMJ. .147 to go here in this first half. Applington-Parkersburg with a 27-14 lead. These teams have each scored 9 points in this second quarter. The Falcons outscored the Broncos 18-5 in the first frame. It's their ball out of the timeout as they go inside to Oldenburger. Great pass, but she missed the layup. And a rebound by Hartwig, but she dribbled it off her shoe, so it'll stay with Applington-Parkersburg. That was a great pass by Cavalier on the right wing. It was perfectly over the shoulder of Kelly, the defender. Now Emma Kelly will check out of the ball game. Jenna Meyer comes back into the game. If you're just joining us, foul trouble a little bit for some of the stars of these teams. Ashlyn Wilms, one of the hotter shooters for Belmond-Klemme, has 3 fouls. Ellie Eachin has had 2 fouls for much of this first half. As here's a wild layup missed by Hovinga, but a putback is now a foul, as Oldenburger will go to the free throw line for the second time tonight. Foul goes against Jenna Meyer, her first. The 9th team foul on the Broncos, but on the shot, so it'll be 2 free throws for Oldenburger, and she makes the first. 14-point lead. And they're going to get Kelly back into this ball game. Next dead ball as Oldenburger spun out the second free throw. Falcons currently doubling up the Broncos. Broncos have started to play a little bit better offense down the later stages of this second quarter. And now here's some trouble at half court, hitting the deck, just lost control of the ball. That was Barris. And the Falcons have it the other way. Price at the free throw line, has it taken away by McMurray. McMurray up the floor, has her eyes looking up the floor. Gets it up to Hartwig, shot fake and drive, goes baseline. Had it lost for a second, but found Meyer to the block. Here's Barris, too strong off the window. Loose ball on the baseline, good save on the out-of-bounds line by Barris. Finds McMurray, who hits another 3. Madison McMurray back-to-back 3s in this quarter, and the lead is just 11. That'd be a huge win for the Broncos if they're able to cut it to single digits by the halftime break. As here's a floater in the lane, missed short by Stotler. Good rebound by the Falcons, gives Stotler another look. A little bit more of a traditional shot is right through the nylon. 30-17, 20 seconds to go. Broncos can hold for the last shot if they so choose. McMurray up the floor to Maddie Barris. Back to McMurray, 12 seconds to go. To the left side, held by Allison Barris. Dribbles to the left, now over to Barris. Barris to the right, Hartwig, under 5. Into the high post, Meyer out to Barris, 4-3. And she missed it short as time expires. A little bit of a run towards the end of the second quarter by Belmond-Klemme. It's 30-17 at the halftime break. Appleton-Parkersburg has led wire to wire. At the half, we'll come back here in a little bit and give you some of the first half stats and totals. We'll also remind you of our upcoming broadcast schedule and where we're headed with postseason basketball over the coming days. Again, your halftime score, AP 30, BK 17. You're listening to high school basketball on 104.9 KLMJ.
Just so everyone knows, the concession stand is open this evening. They do have pizza and pretzels in the concession stand along with drinks and candy and those types of items. So make sure you get out to the concession stand and get a snack.
Doctor says it was infected. Let's do an X-ray. Yep. Like they're not going to do anything. If it turns into more, then you're going to get paperwork. Brought up there. You got to start thinking fundraiser idea for X-ray. I kind of said, let's stay away from the food because that's going to take a whole lot of people. You know, I don't know. That's why I said, come up with some ideas because we're probably going to have to work the first aid along the community way. Yeah. So I figured we'll be working first aid, we'll shoot in the point. Tyler's got a big pen. I said, well, let's just use that big head for our first aid. I was just trying to make a meeting with the churches and other restaurants and bars going out. Bars not? Churches. I'm not saying it's not a money maker. What you gonna do? You know, t-shirts were brought up. I tried posting on the Red Cry Facebook page. I put on the submitted to the Red Cry Facebook page. Question of what do you guys like to support? What do you guys like to buy? For fundraising trying to set this up. I don't think it got approved to go on the Facebook page. I just want something. We're not going to have a whole bunch of people to do it. We're not going to get a bunch of people. Now, like I said, if we're splitting our duties, do first aid. It doesn't hurt right now. Smash it.
The Appleton-Parkersburg Community Schools would like to welcome you to tonight's game between your AP Falcons and the Belmond-Klemme Broncos. We would like to thank Kevin and Amy Truax from Truax Insurance and Iowa Sports Supply for sponsoring our postseason so that we can bring tonight's game to you live. We would also like to thank Campbell Mellema Insurance for sponsoring all of our live streams from the regular season and our fine arts streams. Appleton-Parkersburg Schools promotes good sportsmanship in all.
Begin this third quarter, moving from right to left. As both coaches going with their initial starting five to start this second half. Wilms catches the ball in the half court, shouts out a play, and the Broncos will get set. Maddie Barris holds it on the left wing, lobs into the high post. Meyer makes an athletic grab back to Barris, off for three, and long rebound comes to Price. Price will take it herself up the floor, thundering ahead to the left side now to Waller. Waller surveys to the right, Cavalier. Cavalier made 1-3 in the first half, passed that one up there, good defense by Meyer. Back to Stotler, now hand off to Price as they continue to just hand off along the outside, run a little bit of a three-man weave. Now lob into the corner, Stotler had it tipped, finds its way to Price. Tight defense by McMurray, now a screen comes as Stotler gets into the paint, kick out to the left. Waller pump fake on a three, goes up, had a contested shot by Meyer. Waller fell to the floor, no foul called, and the rebound comes to Hartwig and the Broncos. BK back with it on their end. Wilms skip past to Hartwig into the corner. Barris back to Hartwig. And it's now taken away by Stotler. Ball still loose. Waller comes up with it. 2-on-1 the other way. Bounce pass up the way. A little long for Stotler. Tracked it down. Fast break opportunity is done now as Price catches with all the defense and offense back. Falcons swing along the outside. Cavalier will take a laser beam three and splashes it in. That trajectory was straight on, but found its way through the net. 6 points now in the ballgame for Cavalier, and it's a 33-17 lead. Broncos break the press. Wilms gets inside, goes baseline, double comes, kicks it back out to McMurray. Now back to Wilms in the corner, sets for three, and that one just wedges off the side of the backboard. Cavalier the rebound, going the other way with speed. It's Eachin, fast break complete, as Ellie Eachin, her first basket since the first quarter, makes it 35-17. Broncos continue to pass to break this press. Meyer controls at half, now into the corner, Wilms. Wilms, one dribble in, picks up her dribble, back to McMurray. McMurray on the left wing, she'll take a three off the dribble and knocks it in. Addison McMurray, her third three of the game. She's been the most consistent offense for the Broncos, now with 11 in the ball game. Falcons lead it by 15, 5:45 to go in the third quarter. Eachin controls on the left wing, handoff to Waller. Waller goes in, contested shot, lipped out, and a good meeting there at the summit by Meyer and Waller. Waller just could not spin it in off the rim. Hartwig with it on the other end for the Broncos. Pass intended for McMurray is taken away by Stotler all by herself. She'll go up with the layup and roll it in, and a timeout coming for Coach O'Connor and the Broncos. 37-25-23 to go, third quarter. And you look at the start to this second half, and you can already tell Appleton-Parkersburg staying aggressive on defense, a little bit of pressure with that full court press, but it's the tempo that has really given them the advantage here in the second half so far. They're trying to go a little bit quicker after they get those defensive boards. Players leaking out in transition. Ellie Eachin running the floor well as Ellen Waller. So the Falcons already adding to their lead, what was 13 at halftime, is now 17 as the tempo dialed up a few notches here by this Falcons squad. Broncos are going to try and figure it out here. Maybe some more quick shots on the other end. Try and claw their way back into the ballgame. Back from the timeout. McMurray to inbound, gets it into Barris. Now back to McMurray, up to Meyer. Meyer dribbles up the near side of the floor. Cavalier on her, had it tipped away. Double comes, finds McMurray. McMurray dribbling into the paint, knocked off her route, falls away from the hoop, missed it long, and a rebound is controlled by Stotler. Stotler to Waller. Waller wants to go quickly. Lob into the paint. Eachin, good transition D by Meyer, who jumped the pass like a safety and knocked it out of bounds. Falcon basketball underneath their own hoop. Cavalier to inbound. Wanted to go to Price, wasn't there. Cut off by Barris. Finds its way to Waller. Back to Cavalier. Lob inside to Eachin. One dribble up. Power move. And a basket's good plus a foul. Ellie Eachin, who was essentially a non-factor after about 5 minutes through the first quarter throughout the rest of the half due to foul trouble, has already made an impressive impact in this second half. Completes the and one there. 5 points to begin this third quarter. Hartwig's going to head to the bench as Amara Kelly comes back into the game. Amara Kelly certainly has a height advantage down low that could perhaps combat the offense of Eachin right now, as Meyer nearly had it stolen across half court, finds its way to McMurray though. McMurray crossover, gets around to some defenders, but dribbled it off her shoe. Falcons break the other way. Here's Waller, open for a layup, and she got it again. The tempo for the Falcons making a difference right now. It's 42-20. Inbound to Kelly, to McMurray. Now Meyer. Meyer across to the far side. Barris dropped the ball, comes up with it, now dribbles around a double team. Into the corner, McMurray. McMurray looking in at Kelly, sizes up her defender, now to Wilms. Wilms sets for three, short. Rebound by Kelly. Now has to control it on the ground, try to hand it off to Meyer, but it's taken away by Waller. Waller, the opposite direction, to the block, goes up. A whistle and an offensive foul is called. As that was Wilms, a gutsy play there. No, she's had those 3 fouls, was able to draw the offensive charge. And that'll be the 3rd foul on Ellen Waller. Potentially a big call there. Wilms likely would have headed to the bench with that 4th foul if it would have been on her. Regardless, it goes on Waller. First team foul on the Falcons this half. Meyer up the floor. Cavalier on her. Pivots, spins to the right. Barris. Barris holds the ball overhead. Now throws it back to McMurray. McMurray, quick pass into the block, and a good finish by Meyer. They have not gotten Jenna Meyer much involved at all on the inside. It's her first basket of the game with 3:47 to go in this third quarter. Meyer, who on the season has been an important part of the offense for the Broncos, averaging over 7 points a game, as Cavalier has a 3-pointer blocked by Meyer. Rebound by Eachin. Code to Cavalier. Now a strong pass inside by Price is tipped out of bounds by Maddie Barris. At this point, Broncos might need to start taking some more outside shots, but the fact that they just haven't been able to get it to Jenna Meyer has been just another reason the Broncos have not had their best ball game here to start. Inbound comes to Stotler, who misses a 3 short. Rebound to Barris. Broncos come back down to the left. It's Wilms for 3 on the left wing. She got it. It's been Ashlyn Wilms and Addison McMurray keeping the Broncos in it offensively. That's her 3rd 3 of the game to match McMurray's 3. On the other end, the Falcons will take a triple. That's Sienna Luring missing the 3, but an offensive rebound by the Falcons keeps it on their end. Here's Hovinga in the quarter. She'll take a 3. That one's off the mark, and Hartwig a rebound. Under 3 to go, third quarter. McMurray up the floor. Keeping her eyes up, tries to dribble around Hovinga, now kicks to Wilms. Another 3, and another successful one. Ashlyn Wilms, her 4th 3 of the game, with 12 points now to lead all Broncos scorers. Still 42-28. Broncos starting to creep back in it a little bit once again. It's a long pass to Hovinga. She'll take another 3. That one is off target, and a rebound is tracked down by Hartwig. McMurray up the floor, already looking at Wilms. See if she can get her another shot. Wilms passes it up, goes back to McMurray. Swing over to Hartwig. Hartwig into the corner. Barris nearly lost it off her thigh, but recovers. Tries to pass it back to the top of the key. Tipped by Stotler. Hartwig comes up with the loose ball. Hartwig goes baseline. Lob to Meyer. Goes up. Contested shot and spun it in. Good feed there by the Broncos to get Meyer another bucket, and it's a 12-point deficit as the Broncos on a good run here towards the end of this third quarter. On the other end, here's a deep three, connects. Summer Stotler to silence the run on the right. Now in the wing with Waller to Price at the high post. Back out for a three. Stotler high off the back iron. Ball is tipped in the air. McMurray comes down with it. Under a minute to go, third quarter. McMurray trying to shake Stotler. Good on-ball defense, gets it up to Wilms. Wilms dribbles away from the left side. Now holds, wants to go to McMurray, and just could not get the pass on target as it rolls out of bounds behind the BK bench with 45.5 seconds to go. You can tell here a concerted effort by the Broncos to try and get it to McMurray and Wilms, who have been hot from outside. McMurray has hit 3 threes in this ball game. Wilms has hit 4. Falcons with it on their end. Here's a three from Cavalier, and she got it. Caitlin Cavalier, her third three of the game as the Falcons continue to pour it in from outside. That's a 19-point lead, 50-31. Great offensive night for the Falcons. Here come the Broncos the other way, and they're going to get a travel going against Allison Barris, who took an extra step before she put the ball on the floor. And the Falcons can hold for the final shot here if they so choose. For the Falcons, a team that averages about 47 points a game, to already be at 50 before the third quarter is complete. Take that every time if you're Coach Driscoll. Cavalier handing off to the outside Stotler. She wants to go into the defense, throws up a wild shot. Loose ball on the rebound. Coming up with it is Wilms, and now a jump ball as Mowinkle came down over top to force the tie-up. It'll stay with AP, 7.4 to go in this quarter. Price to inbound, gets it into Waller. Waller, pump fake and drive around McMurray into the paint, into the teeth of the defense, and they're going to get a foul against Kelly. And 2 free throws coming here for Ellen Waller. First foul on Emera Kelly, who's played some valuable minutes off the bench tonight on the inside. First free throw is true for Waller. Waller led the way in the first half in scoring. But there is a whole mess of Falcons towards the top as far as points in this ball game. Unable to get the second to go. McMurray a rebound under 3 seconds, and a trap comes underneath the basket. They're not going to get a shot off as the quarter expires. 51-31 after 3. Appleton Parkersburg adds to their lead. We head to the fourth when we come back. You're listening to high school basketball, 104.9 KLMJ.
The Appleton Parkersburg Community Schools would like to welcome you to tonight's game between your AP Falcons and the Belmont-Klemme and Iowa Sports Supply for sponsoring our postseason so that we can bring tonight's game to you live. We would also like to thank Campbell Mellema Insurance for sponsoring all of our live streams from the regular season and our fine arts streams.
Okay, I'll try and take a break.
Returns for the Broncos.
51-31, AP with the lead as we head to the fourth quarter. Here's a wild shot off the mark by Stotler. Each team with an empty trip down the floor to begin this fourth quarter. So glad you could join us. Ben Helwig here with you. Ben DeMuth back in studio. If you're looking for AGWSR basketball, that's just about getting underway over on 98.9 KQCR as we speak, as the Cougars take on Gladbrook-Rhinebeck. Already in the fourth quarter here. Early start tonight in this ball game. Winner gets Dyke New Hartford on Friday. AP well on their way at this point with the 20-point lead. Eachin with it inside. Has it taken away by McMurray. Coming the other direction. Waller in tow, but McMurray goes up. Contested layup is good. And a nice finish by the senior. She continues to add to her total 13 points. Waller wants to go quickly the other way. To Stotler, back to Waller, and now we'll slow things down, waiting for the rest of the offense. Backpedals to half court. Whips it over to the left side. Held by Stotler. She dribbles to the elbow, takes a leaner, and missed everything, and it goes out of bounds. It'll be BK basketball. Been pretty even scoring for the Falcons. Great offensive night for them so far. Still 6:45 to go in this ball game. Already over the 50-point mark, but they've gotten scoring from a lot of different players, as they're going to call a travel by McMurray after receiving the inbound. As just a gift right back to the Falcons, something you can't have if you're the Broncos trying to claw your way back into this ball game. As here's the inbound to Price, unable to connect on the first attempt, got her own rebound and had it tipped out of bounds. Well, plenty of Falcons up there in the scoring totals, as you have Eachin with 9, Cavalier with 9, Stotler with 9, and then Ellen Waller to lead all scorers for the Falcons with 12. Lots of good performances tonight. Here's a high inbound. Great catch by Eachin. Missed the layup, though, and McMurray gets the rebound. McMurray up the far side of the floor. Good defense by Waller, and it's taken away. Cavalier, the opposite direction. Backpedals, now bounce to the block. Stotler goes up, and she was fouled. And 2 free throws coming here for Appleton Parkersburg. That's going to be Stotler at the free throw line for a pair. She's 2 for 2 from the charity stripe tonight. Foul goes against Ashlyn Wilms, her 4th. She's been in foul trouble for most of this second half as Stotler sinks the first. 52-33. And now make it 53-33. Stotler, the senior, playing in her final game on this AP home floor. Tip ball out of bounds off the inbound for Belmond-Klemme. Looking, at least at this point, AP potentially moving on to face Dyke New Hartford on Friday, a team they've already played twice this season. Everyone knows what D&H has been able to do this season, one of the best teams in the state at 2A. It'll be a lot of fun to see those two teams go at it for a third time. To North Iowa Cedar League East foes, rivals if there ever was any, as Wilms misses a runner. Offensive rebound by Meyer, putback is off to the wayside. McMurray a rebound and a jump ball, as she got tangled up with Waller. And it'll go to Appleton Parkersburg. It'll be a lot of fun to see those two teams a third time. That would be Friday night. And regardless of what happens, we'll have that game for you on radio on the go on either KLMJ or KQCR, depending on the result of this game. As Waller gets a screen, goes all the way to the cup. That's a great set play in the half court by Coach Driscoll. Created a wide open layup for Waller, now with 14 points. 55-33, 22-point lead. McMurray crossing over defenders as she goes up the floor, lobs it into the corner. Wilms lost control of it for a second, now had it tipped and stolen by Cavalier. Up the floor to Waller, who continues to break out in transition, and another layup for Ellen Waller. The transition game on offense for AP has been electric in this second half. There's another tip ball off the inbound. Stays with BK. 3/4 of the court to go. But the awareness of these players, as soon as there's a turnover or a defensive board, they have at least 2 players streaking down the opposite direction. As here's a runner by McMurray. They're going to get her with a charge. Great positioning there by Ellie Eachin, as McMurray got caught up in the air between a shot and a pass, took an off-balance floater, and put a knee right into the stomach of Eachin, forcing the charge. Third foul going against McMurray. She'll come out of the game with Maddie Barris checking back in. 5:18 to go in the fourth. Waller will walk it up the floor. Works to the right side. Wants to lob it into Eachin. Catches it on the block. Tried to flip it to the other block, but nobody home as Wilms takes it away. Wilms' hesitation move gets around her defender Stotler. Now a triple team comes, and knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Falcons. It'll stay with BK. 5 minutes to go here in the fourth. Belmond-Klemme has gotten nearly all of their offense from 2 players. Ashlyn Wilms with 12 and Addison McMurray with 13, making up 25 of their 33 points. Haven't had much otherwise. Haven't been able to get it inside to Jenna Meyer as much as they like, as here's a baseline jumper off the mark by Barris. Putback is up and out for Hartwig, and a jump ball off the rebound. Cavalier got in there and forced the jump ball with Hartwig. It'll stay with Belmond-Klemme. The offensive struggles for Belmond-Klemme continue here tonight. Also didn't help Appleton-Parkersburg having one of their best offensive games of the season. Here's a corner 3 by Maddie Barris. Spirals out. Putback is up and in. That's Allison Barris, her first basket of the game. The younger of the 2 Barrises. Good looking putback there off of a box out. AP on the other end. Lob in for Eachin. Double team comes, spins around it, takes a fall away shot. And that's the Ellie Eachin that AP fans are accustomed to seeing. Dominating inside. That's a great looking post move. Makes it 59-35 with 4:13 to go. Meyer up the floor, across half, dribbled it off her foot, ball's loose, and last touch by Waller. BK will keep it on their end. Substitutions here, Cavalier as well as Stotler come off. Now Eachin and Price are going to come off as well. So it's Hovenga, Waller, Oldenburger, Luring, and Mullenbrook in the game. BK with it on their end. Here's Wilms for 3. Off to the side, short. Rebound is loose, and Hovinga comes up with it. Goes down the far side of the floor, gets around Wilms, and a pass to the block. Wide open there for the layup is Oldenburger. Now with 3 points in the game, but that's a great pass by Hovinga to create the wide open layup. 3:43 to go. McMurray to the right, Barris. She'll take a 3, had it tipped. And a rebound is controlled by Mowinkle. Now stolen away by the Broncos. That was Maddie Barris to force the jump ball. And it'll be Appleton-Parkersburg basketball. A lot of jump balls in this fourth quarter. Possession arrow continues to flip back and forth. As Waller will walk it up the floor, 3:31 to go. Waller calling out a set play, 4-high setup for the Falcons. Lob into the elbow with Mowinkle. Cutter goes by, now gives back to Waller. Waller runs into her defender, no call. Now a step back 3 is short, a couple of hops off the rim. Rebound to Oldenburger, out to Hovinga. She's been hot from 3 and stays that way. Her third 3 of the game makes it 64-35. 3:06 to go, fourth quarter. On the right side, Hartwig goes baseline, bounce into the post. Here's a shot by Barris, put back up by McMurray is off the target. And a rebound comes to Luring and the Falcons. Under 3 to go. Waller on the logo at half court. Guarded by Maddie Barris. Gets a crossover, gets around Barris all the way into the paint, spiraling out. And a loose ball on the rebound is controlled by Allison Barris in the corner. Trying to pass out of the tall arms of Mowinkle and finally gets it to Hartwig. 2.5 minutes to go. Up the floor to Wilms. Wilms on the right wing. In some trouble. Tries to bounce it inside, and it's off target. Intended for Allison Barris, and the turnover gives it to the Falcons. Substitutions here. Wilms comes off, as does Allison Barris. Jenna Meyer comes back into the game. Also, Vanessa Naranjo comes in for the first time for Belmond-Klemme. A senior going to get some minutes here in what's likely going to be the final game of the season for the Broncos. Coach Driscoll also pulling some players off here, getting some of the bench players in. As Williamson brings the ball up the floor for the Falcons. Trying to hand it off behind to Buss, but it's taken away by Hartwig. Hartwig goes all the way to the cup and a foul. And they're going to get that one against Shayla Barrett. Shayla Barrett, half of a duet that absolutely crushed the national anthem before we got on the air here tonight. 2-part harmony, absolutely gorgeous. Nice job by her as well as a fellow AP student. First free throw for Hartwig is short. You look at this Belmond-Klemme team here, looks like the clock is going to run dry on their season here in 2020-2021, but they'll have a lot coming back next year as well, as 0 for 2 trip for Hartwig. Someone like Jenna Meyer, who will be back. Allison Bears has been a big part of this team. Ashlyn Wilms, who saw what she's been able to do tonight. He's also really high on the 8th graders that'll be coming into the program next year, Coach O'Connor. He's very hands-on with this team and the development of where they'll be next season. Really excited about the young players coming into the program. Belmond-Klemme is certainly trending in the right direction after just a couple wins, 2 seasons ago, 3 wins 3 seasons ago. There's a foul drive inside. They're gonna get Naranjo. Substitution here, Jenna Meyer comes off, as does Holly Hartwig. Kelly comes back into the ball game, as does Roberts. AP basketball underneath their own hoop, comes into Williamson. Williamson straight away, crossover dribble, gets to the free throw line. Passing inside for Buss, Eliza Buss now lobs it back out to Barrett. Barrett to the 3-point line, held by Luring, who backpedals away, 1.5 to go. To the left side, Williamson has a screen but went against it. Now bounce pass inside for Buss, falling away from the hoop, and a foul is called. And Eliza Buss will go to the free throw line for 2. You have a creative coach and Coach Andrew O'Connor, as that foul goes against Roberts, her first. That is going to put in time in the offseason, thoughts and ideas into what he wants to do offensively, defensively. Loves the X's and O's of the game. His first free throw missed by Buss. He'll certainly be busy this offseason game planning what the future is for this Belmond-Klemme team. As the second free throw good for Buss. Going to be without some big seniors, including the player bringing the ball up the floor right now, Addison McMurray, as well as senior Maddie Barris. Going to miss those two for sure, as the timeout here is likely going to bring them off the floor for the last time. Looked like there was going to be a timeout at first, but instead just some substitutions, and that is going to be it for Maddie Barris and Addison McMurray, the 2 seniors on this Belmond-Klemme team that have played substantial minutes. Vanessa Naranjo, who controls the ball right now, the 3rd senior on the roster, but McMurray led the team in scoring this year. Maddie Barris, who battled some injuries and such this season. Here's a shot block. Naranjo had it tipped. We'll get some substitutions in here as well late for the Falcons. Belmond-Klemme is going to miss Addison McMurray, leading rebounder and scorer. Big part of this team they will Maddie Barris, and Coach O'Connor has just the highest of words to say about those two. We'll ask him a little bit more about those two and what they mean to the program on our Mort's Water Company Coaches Show coming up not this Saturday, but the following Saturday when we wrap up with our area girls coaches. As an offensive foul, moving screen called against Shayla Barrett of AP. All things considered, for Belmond-Klemme, they'll finish the season 7-14. Good end to the season, certainly headed in the right direction. But Appleton-Parkersburg, on the other hand, they're going to have an interesting ball game on Friday, renewing an old rivalry with D&H as a drive by Roberts is a foul called. They're going to get that one against the Falcons. 35.6 seconds to go. AP D&H Friday night. We'll have that one for you on KQCR. Looking forward to that one. If you're just joining us, D&H won earlier tonight. They had an earlier tip than this one. They started at 5:30. They already beat Eagle Grove 68-21. So plenty of time to prep for the Wolverines coming up later this week, as a missed 3 by Roberts is off the mark. Travel on the rebound. We'll keep it with Belmond-Klemme, 19 seconds to go. And the good news for Appleton-Parkersburg is you're still going to have perhaps a lot more in the tank. Ellie Eachin didn't have a full go tonight with foul trouble. Got a lot of scoring from a lot of different girls. We'll recap that here in a little bit, as there's a foul on a shot by Roberts on the block. 14 seconds to go. Puts her at the line for 2. Foul goes against Buss, her first.
Foul on Eliza Buss, her first, team 6th.
Roberts' first free throw is good. That'll be on Friday night, once again, from Dyke New Hartford. Falcons dropped both games to the Wolverines earlier this season. D&H has been about as perfect as you can be through the regular season. Already starting their postseason with a win, as the second free throw is out, but they're going to call a lane violation against the Falcons to give Roberts a chance at one more. 65-36. Belmond-Klemme well behind. Roberts is good there. Had a second chance at her second free throw. 65-37. Falcons bring the ball up the floor. Williamson controls and can just dribble out if she so chooses. Maybe get a chance to run the offense a little bit. Lobs it into the block. Bus, turnaround. Bunny on the block is off target, but that is the ball game. 65-37. Appleton-Parkersburg, a thorough victory here tonight. They led wire to wire with one of the best offensive outputs they had all season long. They move on to be 12-9 on the season, and they'll face Dyke New Hartford on Friday. Belmond-Klemme falls to 7-14. Their season comes to a close here in Parkersburg. That'll do it for us here. We'll come back here and wrap things up. We'll also hear from Brady Driscoll, the head coach of the AP girls team. Again, your final score, Appleton-Parkersburg 65, Belmond-Klemme 37. We'll wrap things up when we return. You're listening to high school basketball on 104.9 KLMJ.
The Appleton-Parkersburg Community Schools